Okay, we've arrived at Tai-O! Speaking of Tai-O, what are the 3 things that pop up in your mind? Fine, I'll go first. Salted fish, donuts, and vacation. Your turn.
The memories I recall are stilt houses, cow dung.
Seriously?
Aha! Hello, it's really nice to meet you. So today, it's my pleasure to take you around the island. How about that?
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's go.
off we go. It's easy to get to Tai-O. You can take the bus or a boat from Tongcheng, and the journey will be less than an hour.
Our tour guide, Diana, is an indigenous resident. She moved to the city when she was a kid and only returned to Tai-O after retirement.
Her friendly personality suits her role as volunteer tourism ambassador for the tourism board and introducing Tai-O to foreign tourists.
Now, we are looking at the waterway. We call it a waterway and not the sea. There are stilt houses on both sides. It's characteristic of the area. In the past, this was a fishing village. Nearly all the boats here were fishing boats. These stilt houses you see here can be divided into 3 generations. The first generation is a one shaped like a dome. The second generation has a flat top. Now, if you look at the newer ones, you can see they have 2 levels. They have a second level.
Then you lived in the first generation when you were young?
Yeah, the first one with the dome.
What is this bridge called?
That bridge is called Sun Key Bridge.
Sun Key.
Right. All the tourists come here to take a picture. It's the best spot for shooting the stilt houses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sunset along with the stilt houses is one of the best sights in Tai-O. How can you not take a picture? Gorgeous!
The sunset's great today. In the past, around the 1960s or maybe late 50s,
Yeah.
here on both sides, there were these cable ferries, and some women were responsible for pulling the ropes. They pulled the ropes to bring people across. And what happened as Tai-O became more and more popular, the cable ferries were overloaded with villagers and tourists, and that wasn't good. That's why this bridge was built.
It's quiet, yet with a human touch. What I mean is like when you understand the story of a particular place together with the history of an area, you'll feel like the place has more meaning to you and you'll become more attached to it.
The best way to get to know a place starts with sampling its delicacies.
It's so big!
It
Are you gonna
is.
be able to finish it? Hi, pretty kitty!
Turns out there are lots of indigenous cats in Tai-O.
These are the Sun Key stilt houses.
Oh,
Sun
yeah.
Key Street is usually pretty quiet. So the houses on this side face the waterway. While the houses on the other side, they face the mountain.
Oh.
That's right. All right, so this is my house.
Hello.
Come on in. Welcome.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
right here is where you'll find the pergola.
Right.
Yeah, so just over there is the...
Hong Kong, Zhuhai, Macau Bridge.
That's right, and that over there, that is the end of the Hong Kong airport. This place used to be a salt field for brine evaporation. So this area has, turned into mangroves. A lot of birds come out here to roost now.
Oh, the bird I wanted to take a picture of flew away.
Yay!
To the good times, right?
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
been great visiting your stilt house. I was wondering, why did you return to Tai-O?
Well, this is where I was born. I guess, you could say my roots are here. My kids have all grown up. So I just decided to return to this place. This is where I belong.
It's kind of like you were returning home.
Yes, exactly. Returning back
real
to my
home.
original home. Like returning to a really cozy old home. This place brings me a peaceful feeling. I've always loved this place a lot, you know? Yeah.
If you had to choose, what do you think is the most captivating moment or scene that you ever experienced in Tai-O?
I'd say the sunset. It's beautiful. Also, on a clear night, when you see the starry sky and the moon, it's so romantic. Really wonderful.
I thought you would say the people here are the best.
Well, that is a different kind of beauty, right? The most important thing is that we are all happy and that by coming here, you've been able to experience that. And I hope that you have been able to learn a little more about Tai-O.
The rustic charm of Tai-O has attracted a couple who once used to live in the city.
Samuel and Yin organized a studio to share how they make use of natural resources. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi,
Good morning.
What are you guys doing?
Some farm chores.
Oh.
You like it?
Yes.
Diana told us to come here and visit you. She said that you have something fun for us to do.
Oh, well, in summer we'll go canoeing, and in winter we do carpentry. So for this orchard, our neighbors let us care for it.
So I would like to know, why did you guys choose this place to open a studio? I mean, was there anything special about it in the beginning?
After a typhoon, there's always fallen trees. This place is good because you can find many natural resources nearby.
So all of the materials you use are simply things you find, or are just what you currently have in hand?
Yeah, that's right.
And you use those
Yeah.
things for your activities?
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly it. Making things with your own hands without the help of mechanics, to actually feel with your hands what wood, soil, and bark is all about. Trees have different moisture levels and textures. For example, flame tree wood is wet when you collect it. If you leave it for too long, it'll get moldy. Taiwan acacia is a harder wood, and elephant's ear is softer, but with a lower density, so you can try anything. Explore it on your own. So, you
Can
know.
I be an apprentice?
Of course you can. Yeah.
All right,
sure, come
thanks.
on.
So, can we start right
Yeah,
now?
sure, let's give it a
I'm
try.
your
Let's
apprentice
begin.
now, then. I never thought the first step of carpentry would start with tree pruning.
You're halfway through.
I'm hot. It's hot work.
Okay.
Cut it! Cut it! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
You got it now. It's coming down.
All right.
You got it.
Whoa!
I made it.
Yeah!
Go easy, not too hard.
Don't rush, am I right?
Yeah.
This stool is for wood shaving. You see?
Are there any students who come to you that have a very fast-paced, hectic, everyday lifestyle? And once they're here, they can learn to relax and slow down?
Well, I think that many students that come here find that wood shaving doesn't require any hard thought. It's a
Yeah.
process that you can slowly do with your hands. It allows you to feel the texture, I guess, to them. It's a way to get to know nature. It's like a brand new idea.
It's quite common for us to eat wampy fruit, but we've never seen the tree it comes from. Our carpentry apprentices have substantial knowledge of wood.
This piece of wood feels nude.
It is nude.
Like sugar canes. It feels quite moist. And it's quite heavy.
Go in and have a look.
We're coming in!
Watch your head.
Actually, what part of the work that you guys do here are you the most proud of?
Something I'm proud of is that we tried to craft different tools using only recycled materials. Our studio focuses on making use of what we have available. And it turns out that the things here are quite useful.
It's such a pity that we don't have enough time nor the skill to craft anything today.
Harder!
You won't go back empty-handed. Can you guess what this thing is? Can you guess?
Is it a root or something?
You no idea?
Try.
This thing.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
It's a banana stem, actually from one of these. See? It's a bit
Wow.
wet.
Whoa, it was this big?
Yeah, it's quite thick. We cut it
Amazing.
down so we can make fibers out of it. Maybe we can start with weaving. You have free reign.
Have you ever witnessed any changes in the students that come here after they get connected with nature? Know what I mean?
I think that their attitude toward rural life changes a bit. Things like recycling and environmental issues, people tend to learn a bit more about that here, yeah.
Well, there used to be a carpentry apprentice who met the Lantau residents, then moved to Lantau Island after a while. I like to think they moved here because of the nice neighbors and relaxing environment. Our apprentices will often return here to help with things. They'll prepare meals or be teaching assistants. This kind of relationship doesn't end after a few months. It carries on, and they'll always come back here. What's even better is some apprentices are equipped with other skills which they share with us in turn.
I've been meaning to ask you, what was the reason that prompted you to actually move from the city to a rural area like this?
Well, after a while ago, I had some community work to do on Lantau Island, so I got to meet a lot of Lantau residents, and I think the locals are really open to sharing with others. This kind of sharing is unconditional. They're like, oh, you want to learn? All right, I'll teach you then. And so Lantau Island creates an environment for us to explore new possibilities and learn a variety of things.
Wow, they sound so different from our urban culture.
Yeah.
That explains why folks would want to come here to learn and experience.
My deepest impression is weaving banana stems. It's just like back when we were little kids. We didn't have any toys, so we had to find ways to entertain ourselves. After we finished it, there was a sense of success. Even though it was quite a simple little thing, it made us very happy.
It's
Local
yours.
souvenirs.
You made your own souvenirs.
Want to buy one?
Come to Lantau and make it yourself.
We've already met the land-based indigenous villagers on Tai-O. Are we going to meet the indigenous residents in the sea?
Do we need to go diving, or should we get the professionals?
Huh. I've got a funny feeling. They're over there. Go, go, go!
Tyson and Heyman have been working in dolphin conservation for over 10 years. They've witnessed the population plunge of Chinese white dolphins.
In order to raise public awareness of the plight of the local dolphins, they organize regular dolphin watching tours to observe the dolphins in a friendly manner.
Hello.
Hi!
Are you taking us to visit the ocean's indigenous residents?
Yes, that's right. Because actually, the ocean really belongs to the marine animals that live in it, right? Humans are only ever just visitors. So that's what each of you will have, a cetacean visiting passport.
After getting the passport, just remember to please observe the oceanic residents with respect. Also, we have to strictly observe the dolphin watching code of conduct, which is that we can only have one dolphin watching vessel within a 500-meter area.
We have to stop the vessel when we are 100 meters away from the dolphins.
Try to remember not to feed the dolphins either.
Okay,
Roger that.
Let's head out. Yeah.
Cool.
Dolphins! I can't believe I'm gonna see them. I'm so excited. I've only ever seen pictures of Chinese white dolphins in general studies textbooks. I can't believe I'm gonna see the real ones today.
When I got the passport, I started memorizing the names of them all. I like to know what they're all called. It's a humpback dolphin!
Correct.
Oh, yeah. Why do we go dolphin watching?
The dolphins right now are facing many disturbances. There are too many boats, or you might see a lot of garbage in the sea. See that firsthand is the moment that we understand the many threats the dolphins are facing every second.
It's something you'll only know when you actually witness it.
That's right.
So do the Chinese white dolphins have a major habitat locally? I mean, like, is there an area that they mainly live?
Well, in Hong Kong, the white dolphins are mainly distributed in the west and south of Lantau Island. But if we're talking about the past, like around a decade ago, you would find them mostly to the north of Lantau Island, a bit northwest as well. However, with the increasing number of offshore projects and the various threats posed by human activities, the dolphins were forced to leave North Lantau and go elsewhere, which is why we are in this area.
That's right. That area over there is known as Sha Chao and Lung Pu Chao Marine Park, which is a marine reserve for the white dolphins. About a decade or two ago, it was a great place to see dolphins. There were a lot of them. But these days, we count ourselves very lucky if we even get to see one out there.
Dolphins are a kind of animal that relies heavily on sound. In fact, their daily activities depend on something called echolocation. The sound can be described as like when you pull rubber bands. We call it clicks, which is the ultrasound they emit. Through the strength and reflection time of the sound waves they emit, they are able to detect objects in front of them. However, with so many coastal constructions going on, or marine traffic, the constant noise of that is largely disrupting their everyday life, and all of that forced them to leave their inhibition zone.
Huh? Over there. It's over there. You see it? It's swimming fast.
Oh my God!
Get ready. Over there. There's a dolphin
playing.
calf. Seems so. They're leaping and chasing each other.
It's really close to us.
Where is it?
Why is it so close? It was leaping from water.
Yeah.
That's called breaching.
Yeah.
I was worried that I couldn't see the dolphins. I really thought it wouldn't be that easy, but first time's a charm, right? I guess I got really lucky. With my own eyes, I saw it jumping from the water, and then I was able to really see it. It was an amazing moment. I was like, wow, a dolphin really appeared in front of my eyes. All right, let's mark that down.
There was one time when we actually saw a pod of like 20 dolphins. They were close, and we were worried that they might crash into our boat. In fact, the calm weather today makes it pretty easy to see them. That white spot on the water's surface, if it disappears, then it's a dolphin. If it stays on top, then it is rubbish.
That one we saw is WL79, or Little V.
Little
You can tell
V.
it's Little V because of the wound on its tail, you see? It's a characteristic. We will record those identified dolphins. When we organize the data we collect, we will know where their core habitat was last year. This is important data.
And also, since we've accumulated the data for so many years, we will be able to know things like, this dolphin is a mother and has had this many babies. We can know all that. It's kind of like we are all slowly getting to know each other and becoming friends. You know, we think that the different dolphins will present different personalities. Some of them really seem to like their solitude.
Oh.
But some definitely prefer to hang out with a pod of friends. They really seem extroverted. It is not uncommon.
Cool. Oh, I really love it when it feels like we're making friends with them. Oh, I love to see it making all these friendly gestures towards us. How do you guys keep your balance?
Practice.
It's so much fun being able to see them like this. Hey, I got it! I got a shot!
You caught it, though it's so fast? Cool.
Awesome.
We've turned off our boat's engine, so we're just floating
Yeah, I
now.
noticed that.
It's up to them if they want to come closer to us. If we turn the engine on, it'll create a lot of noise and disturb them. When we're dolphin watching, we want to try and keep the disturbances to a minimum. So when we are close to the dolphins, we hope to adopt a purely floating method to observe them. In the past, society was presented with an incorrect concept. We were all told that all dolphins are the same as the ones in the theme parks. But what we are seeing now are wild animals. They're beyond our control. They have their own thoughts and wishes and
Free
the like.
will.
Yes, and so we have to learn to respect them for that.
There is a fishing boat on the
A
left.
fishing boat.
Yeah.
Do they compete with the dolphins for food?
Well, you can say that. Yeah.
Will the dolphins get close to the fishing boats because they know there's more fish near them?
Yes.
They will, right?
Because their food supply keeps on declining.
They have to find a way that can help them to easily locate more fish. But that gives rise to another problem. If the dolphins get too close to the fishing vessels, there's a chance they could
And become like
collide.
little
Yeah.
bee.
Or worse, there's a chance they may get tangled up in the ropes of the fishing nets, which will cause harm to the dolphins.
Indeed, Little V that we have met today and the other dolphins you caught on camera, those ones are they're the lucky ones because those ones are, still intact. They're still able to survive in Hong Kong waters. But for those, unfortunate ones, we would also like to share their stories. Like this unfortunate lady here. Her tag number is CH34. Her Chinese name means hemp rope. Anyway, it turns out she was already a mother. The thing is, if you look a little closer, you can see that her dorsal fin is not triangular. Can you see the permanent scar on her fin? So how do we know that she had already become a mother? We once saw her taking care of a little calf, a tiny little black calf, right next to it. But sadly, shortly after it was born, the little baby, it unfortunately died in Hong Kong waters. At that time, we actually witnessed this dedicated dolphin mama. She was sadly holding her little precious baby's tiny corpse. Yeah, we saw her holding her dead baby close for 7 days. Here, you can have a look.
I was overwhelmed when I heard this story. I'm sure it wasn't the first time they shared it, but it was the first time for us to see it. Even if we didn't witness it, I guess this kind of thing happens a lot out there. Still, I didn't expect it would be so heartbreaking. I thought I could just share this story without crying.
Dolphins are actually mammals. Pollutants in the ocean will accumulate in the fat layer of their bodies. So, while breastfeeding, the toxins in the fat will transfer to the mother's milk and be fed to the baby. So, when the baby drinks these toxins, its body can't process them, and that's when it dies. This kind of premature death has everything to do with water pollution. It's really the main factor that causes this situation.
Then would you say that the environmental situation also makes it difficult for them to reproduce?
Yes, that's right. Because of the water pollution that contaminates our ocean waters, it is difficult for their offspring to survive into adulthood. It's quite hard to increase the overall population of the dolphins here, and that's why the number of dolphins in the area remains low and continues to decline.
I mean, if we even look at just a decade ago, in Hong Kong, there was a population of 188 Chinese white dolphins here. Around the waters here, there were almost 200 of them. However, there were only 34 left last year.
Captive breeding doesn't work for Chinese white dolphins. Even if they are successfully bred, they won't be able to survive in the sea. However, they're unable to reproduce in the sea as well. And I feel helpless, and it's kind of depressing.
I really wish I could be like one of them. It would be great to contribute to the dolphins and help the environment.
To raise awareness as far as possible so folks consider how to bring them additional protection so that they won't go extinct so quickly. Even if it's just a few decades more, just being able to see them as long as we can in the wild is a blessing.